All right, we are live.
We are ready to go. And this evening we have Brad, the Chatty Daddy, and Random Wizard. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we've got one of our normal hosts out today, so filling in, we've got the Dragon Master himself. He will be competing in a match right after this. Let's see what leads they go with. Typical
All right,
Aggron
Brad's got
into a
Aggron. All right, interesting. Let's see what Clefable does. I suppose it could go a couple different ways depending on how he's building Clefable. Aggron, wild, powerful.
Yeah, that steel typing being able to scare out the fairy.
Indeed,
go ahead
indeed.
And get the rocks out. Charizard getting the Mega Evolution out, spamming some Flare Blitz.
Big hit.
Two big
Dragon Tail, so it's going to have to take those rocks when it comes back in again.
Wow.
Thankfully, it did get the Mega off, so it won't just immediately die. Interesting call by Brad, saying that he's willing to take that big hit on his Mega in order to get a big hit on
swapping out the aggro. Interesting.
Yeah, he knows that Super Saiyan Pidgeot's normally got that Heat Wave, so use an Entei to just soak that up.
Interesting. Bringing out the Quagsire. Not going to do too much with that Sacred Fire. Ground and water.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for a burn proc, maybe, if you're not running a bunch of other status effects.
Let's see. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, they're staring each other down. I believe Brad's trying to figure out who his swapping into Barney is. It is a difficult position for him.
Barney is definitely a tricky Pokemon to deal with. I can attest to that personally.
Going with the Gardevoir.
Might be one of the best options he could put out. Although we'll have to see what Gardevoir is built with.
Yeah, notably it is not his Mega, so it could have some trick antics, anything like that.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Moonblast making quick work of that Zapdos. Mew's going to have to get some good counter hits in. I believe this thing might be scarfed with it outspeeding.
Shadow Ball on the Gardevoir. Ouch. And a swap. Moonblast still did a good chunk into that Clefable.
Yeah, but good call by Random Wizard to keep his Mew alive. This Gardevoir is fast.
Notably, Mew and Gardevoir are speed ties, so it's also a gamble who's going to go first.
Now it's Pikachu taking the opportunity to get a free paralysis out there. Cutting into Crobat speed, its most notable stat, so we'll see how that affects it.
Paralyzed Crobat. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, Random Wizard taking the opportunity to get a soft boil up and then switch right into Barney. Another paralysis.
Ooh.
That is back-breaking, losing 2 turns in a row. Oh, but the taunt comes out. Barney won't be able to spam the recovers or anything, and Crobat taking the opportunity to get on out of there with the U-turn. Beaten up, paralyzed, returns to his Pokeball. Out comes the Latias.
Wonder if Latias can do anything here to Barney. Oh, and of course, good move by Random Wizard, bringing out the Fairy just in time. Soaking up that Dragon hit. I would know. I've gotten cucked by the Dragon hits, hitting Fairies several times over, so I know from personal experience.
Oh, he knows.
Chipping more into the Aggron. What's Aggron going to do here, though?
I'm imagining
Quagsire is just going to come out.
Dragon Tail, a risky move into the Fairy.
Ooh. Bringing out the Machamp.
Yeah, but that Aggron is low on health now with that Rocky
Sure
Ninja.
is. There he goes. Thought Machamp might have a fire move, and he sure did. It didn't matter too much, though.
Yeah, just
Aggron was
using
already low.
that fighting typing to crush the steel.
Yep.
This thing has typically been scarfed, so the Gardevoir definitely scarfed, outspeeding the Machamp there.
Gardevoir got the paralysis off Crobat. Not sure how much it's going to help at this point, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to go for his speed now and trust that he can beat the Machamp, but it is risky with this thing being scarfed.
It sure is.
The flying moves will do well, but just going for a U-turn.
Interesting. Oh, and Latias is confused.
Yeah, the dynamic punch avoiding the 50 accuracy with the no guard Machamp.
Oof.
Getting that confusion with the big hit. Latias taking the hit well, but the confusion is no fun. And Brad is
Stop hitting yourself. Why are you hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself.
Right here.
Ouch. Ballooned Raichu.
Yeah, and the special attack drop is going to matter on that Raichu. It's probably just going to volt switch out, but it being weak.
Yeah.
No, he just hard swaps it going into Entei, using that fire type into at
Ooh,
least
an Entei is
resist the
special
fairy.
attack. Yeah.
No, it's a physical attacker. We're probably going to see like an Iron Head, but no, just going for the Sacred Fire.
Ooh, and the Burn Proc.
Barney, that could be important. But he is going to need to get another taunt on it in order to stop it from recover spamming.
Yep.
Random Wizard losing his Zapdos early, but clawing his way back into this match by just getting free turns off the paralysis, the immunity attacks.
There goes Barney, just recovering on up.
Right back to the Pikachu.
Try to. Ooh, there goes that paralysis again.
He's got to heal up his sweepers right now, is Brad's mindset. But getting the paralysis back on the Crobat with his heal beller down. This is not looking optimal. Let's see if he can drag his way back into it. Notably on Random Wizard's team, the Charizard and the Mew are also weakened. They are both fighting with bloodied teams here. I think it's going to be a quick finish once this final straw breaks.
Yep, whatever happens to clinch the match, it's gonna happen fast. Oof. Crobat taking down the Machamp. That's a solid takedown for Brad.
That's a big kill there. It's really a speed battle here, and losing your Scarfer is not what you want. The Charizard barely hanging on. He will kill himself if he uses a recoil move, but he should be faster than the Crobat. Going for the Outrage to avoid the... Oh, and it survives at 1%, but
my God!
Wow.
The back and forth of that turn, just massive plays. Burning another turn, and there goes the confusion on the Outrage, getting the 2-turn, not the 3-turn. Charizard has to stay in, but he could just hit himself straight to death at this point.
That extreme speed off the Entei, I thought he might have it on him, and he sure did, and that took down that Charizard. A singed Quagsire versus the Entei. What does Brad do here? We know Raichu wouldn't be much help here with the ground typing on Barney. Just going to go for it.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to try and push it forward. And Brad getting some of those turns back with the flinch. I mean, at this point, Random Wizard's got walls, and Brad's got
and he throws a toxic.
Some strong Pokemon. It's a race to the finish.
Sure is.
Oh, and that Stone Edge is not hitting hard. He's going to need a crit. It looks like Barney's going to at least be able to stall out the Entei at this point.
Seems like it.
Ooh,
Critical
crit.
hit on the
There's
Sacred
the
Fire.
crit, but he needed the crit on the previous turn. Those recovers just eating it up.
See if the Latias can do something here, but it's hard to say if he's going to have anything that packs enough punch.
Yeah, I think Random Wizard here is going to be fine with just spreading Toxic. He could also just hard switch into the Clefable. He has been very, almost religious about that.
Indeed.
Brad, knowing that that's going to be a potential thing, getting the opportunity to get the wish off. Could go back into the Entei to try and get some health back on it, reset those Toxic procs. But no, just trying to push damage with the Shadow Ball.
Oof. There goes Latias.
Yeah, a potentially big crit. Not sure if it mattered too much. It depends on the investment on this Clefable.
I'll tell you, I've never seen a dragon that survives much more than one Moonblast hit.
Yeah, but Entei getting it done with the extreme
Oof.
speed, making contact, taking care of himself as well. It's all up to Raichu for Brad. He has not brought this Raichu before. He just picked it up out of free agency. Which is going to be faster, Mew or Raichu?
Gonna have to put my money on Raichu, but I suppose it depends on. There it goes. Yeah, taking down that Mew. This is a very, very close game. I gotta tell you, I thought it was over for Brad a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
And there
it's
it goes.
Pikachu just being too strong of a wall, and God, the actual Pikachu dying right to it. We're going to see how they adjust into Game 2.
Great.
We'll be
Great
viewing
first
from
round.
Random Wizard's viewpoint, and
Great
we are
matchups.
all good to go.
Excellent matchups.
Yeah, let's see. Random Wizard probably going to switch up his lead now, knowing that Brad could potentially lead with the Aggron. I'm interested to see what he does here. He could go straight to the Charizard, and he does.
Straight to the Charizard.
The Aggron out for Brad. They're both leading with their Megas.
Oof. Let's see what
Brad's
happens
shown
here.
that he's fine with this matchup, just being able to survive the initial hit and going for the Dragon Tail, using the opening to set up Stealth Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if he does that. The Megas do go off, giving the Dragon typing, so here's going to come the Dragon Tail and a big crit. If he
Big
gets
boys
those rocks
slapping
out
at each
there,
other.
I'm not sure if Charizard's going to be able to survive another entry. But this is exactly what you want. You want the Hulk to come in. You know he's faster. You know you're clicking Dynamic Punch. In comes Crobat to soak it up as well as he can. 13%. There's the confusion.
Ooh. That Crobat might be slapping himself.
For a U-turn if he wants to try chance the confusion or just hard swap. Me, I'm going for U-turn.
You got to go for the U-turn. And there it goes. He's smacking himself a little bit.
Yep, that can definitely happen when you take the risky play. He's learning from it.
Oh, and now he hard swaps.
With the balloon and the lightning rod soaking it up. He's got the special attack boost now. Let's see if he can cash in on it. But God, not with that grass knot. And the softness of Raichu just making it difficult for him to really cash in against Super Saiyan Pidgeot.
Oof.
Yeah, smart switch to the Thunderbolt. Should have gone for that off the rip. There's the Volt switch. You can't lose Raichu yet.
Raichu's very fast. You got to keep him around if you can.
Yeah, we've seen the importance of speed tiering in the mid game of Game 2 here.
Yep, sure did. Bringing out the wish.
The dragon counter just coming straight out.
Ooh, and that Aggron.
He's done that a few times. I would like to see that to be an opening to potentially bring in the Raichu, soak up the Volt, the Paralyze, and then just Volt switch out into the Aggron then.
Right.
Try and keep him guessing a little bit, but now you're just losing turns to the paralysis.
Yeah, shuffling a bit more with the Raichu Volt switch and the Crobat U-turn, it might benefit him a little bit.
And there goes the rocks to really make it hard for that Charizard. Latias coming in using Levitate on the Earthquake spam.
Brad the Chatty Daddy's team has great flexibility in the sense that they can just several of his Pokemon can swap out with their moves, but ooh, that Ice Beam into Latias. Doesn't seem like he's taking full advantage of it just yet. Seems like he might be overthinking a little bit.
He definitely had Random Wizard guessing a little bit there. That Latias has definitely been the biggest problem, but it can also just be countered by the Clefable.
That Thunder Wave ain't gonna do nothing.
Aggron just getting work done
stealth
off the
rocking.
rocks. I'm imagining a Roost out of Super Saiyan Pidgeot predicting another Dragon Tail for the spam. But Brad can know that and take advantage of it and go for the hard swap, and he does, bringing the Latias out into a Heat Wave, only 12%, but there's the burn.
Ooh, the burn.
Not going to be
That is
as
a clutch
important
burn.
here. Not as going to be as important because it's not going to be dropping the attack stat. You really want to get a poison on the Latias to try and keep the clock on. But it's Pikachu just coming in to hard wall it.
Crobat.
Into Crobat.
Crobat
Going for
gonna do here?
that poison typing against the fairy. Brad's got
True.
options for the fairy to go for the poison or the steel, and with his Aggron just being beat on up, he's got to go for the Crobat. Going for the U-turn. The Rocky Helm cutting into the little bit of advantage, but here comes Raichu.
Oof.
We know
What's Raichu
Raichu's
gonna
got the
do
grass
here?
knot. The grass knot hits Barney
Ooh,
super
it's a
effectively, but
grass
the Rocky
knot.
Helmet, it's a trade 1-for-1.
Might be a worthy trade. Quagsire was really mucking things up for Brad the Chatty Daddy.
Yeah, very interesting interaction there with grass knot being
Yeah.
a contact move as well.
Indeed. Yeah, Random Wizard reliably pulling out that Clefable every time Latias comes out. There's Gardevoir. Wonder what Gardevoir's try
Maybe
here.
a wall-to-wall, but definitely getting the status effects cleared out.
Yep.
Oh, and the synchronize
Ooh.
coming into play.
That's a good synchronize.
Yeah, Brad has run this Gardevoir with
That might come in handy later. For sure.
Trace a lot, but choosing to run it with synchronize here. Getting the paralysis on the Clefable could be big. What does he switch into now? He goes into Entei. Imagine we're just going to see more spam, but paralysis is not going to be spread. It's going to happen onto the Clefable.
That's where I thought, that synchronized, paralyzing, bouncing back on the Clefable might, that might mean something.
Oh,
Yeah.
and a big 60% Sacred Fire. That's why you were swapping out when you saw the Entei Clefable. Run away!
He's committed at this point, though. I don't know if he's going to bother swapping out. He might. That Clefable's pretty beefy, but kind of limited options at this point, especially with a little Stealth Rock on the ground. He's going to stub a toe or something.
Well, the Clefable's got the Magic Guard to protect it from the Stealth Rock. The
Ooh, the burn proc.
Yeah, big on the Machamp there.
Wow, yeah, that...
Gotta cut into that attack. And the extreme speed to finish it off regardless of the Scarf. The problem is if you lose the
Cleaning that
Clefable,
Machamp up.
what do you do against the Latias that's such a problem for your team?
True. That is true.
Yeah, both players
just as I thought,
they've got the tools for each other's teams. It's just a matter of how you
sure
use
do.
them. We're going to game 3. Brad bringing it in for game 2.
Oof. Great matches 1 and 2. Very, very evenly matched teams here. This is some good rounds here.
Yeah. It could definitely go either way. Both of them showing that they have the plays to make to take the match.
Absolutely.
Random Wizard switching up his lead. Brad going for Aggron for the 3rd time in a row. Pidgeot we know has the Heat Wave.
Seems like a game of chicken to me.
There goes the Mega Evolution. Oh, and a big mistake by Brad
He
trying
thought
to Thunder Wave the Electric Mon, who's immune to paralysis. He's got to be kicking himself for that one.
he thought for sure Billy was gonna swap out. There comes the Quagsire.
Yeah, and now that Aggron's got 2/3 of its health cleanly blown
All
away
beat
by
up.
those heat waves.
All beat up.
Latias comes in. Here comes the Clefable. We know it's going to happen.
Oh,
I'd like Brad
like
to try and
clockwork.
read this situation and double swap potentially, but choosing to get the Wish off potentially to heal up his Aggron as he swaps it into counter. A good, clean, safe play there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but Random Wizard going for the double swap to say, I know what we're doing. I've done this dance before. Back to the heat
There
waves
we
with a
go.
critical
Wow. Getting those stealth rocks out there, though.
Yeah, with the Charizard not being Mega Evolved yet, that is a big stealth rock.
It sure is.
But his Mega is beat on up. He brings Latias back out. Let's see if Brad goes for the double switch here. If he just goes
Let's
for
see
the safe
Clefable.
wish.
There it is.
Yeah, Brad saying, I'm fine with getting these wishes off. If it's another double swap, he'll at least get some more healing, potentially play around not getting crit. Oh, and going into Crobat, but Random Wizard
Wasting
is
the
switching
wish?
it up, getting the Thunder Wave out there. Yeah, potentially if Crobat had taken damage on that swap in, he would have been healed for the wish, so it's getting him a safe swap in from damage, but not from the status effect. That paralysis could be big. Going for the Brave Bird.
I think it is. The
Protecting
paralysis matters a lot because trying to get rid of it, really takes a lot of valuable time.
Yeah, a notable thing, Brad has his heal bell on a Scarfed Mon, so he has to switch it in, use the heal bell, and switch it out. While it will guarantee that heal bell goes out with that insane speed, it does.
There goes Latias with the
swap immediately after.
Latias joined a Make-A-Wish Foundation. With all these wishes
many
it's making.
Definitely
so
a top
many.
donor.
There's another Paralyze on the Aggron.
Yeah, Random Wizard really saying, I know the dance. I'm going to get the paralysis spread. I'm going to go into my safe things like the Quagsire. I'm just going to get the paralysis. The Paralysi. Oh, and the Dragon Tail.
I believe that's the correct
The
grammar.
Charizard losing 49% to the Rock.
Oof. Charizard stubbed his big toe real good.
But this will give him the opportunity to Mega Evolve and threaten the Aggron. Brad knowing he has to switch. Oh, and an Earthquake coming out. Latias immune from the Levitate. Trying to get those turns back from the paralysis with the immunities. It's Pikachu. Immunity to immunity to immunity. The dance goes on.
Bringing in the paralyzed Crobat.
Big implications to this match in our next one for
Absolutely.
who will take that number 1 seed. Both of these, whoever wins will have the opportunity to take it. If Golda defeats Mammox, he's our co-announcer here. We know he will.
Oh, of course,
the CTO
absolutely.
must be stopped.
He has to be stopped.
Oh my god, he's broken into the station as these two
continue
to just go through their dance. Wishes into low damaging attacks. Oh, a Dragon Pulse actually getting off there. Oh, maybe we're going to see
and a burn
out for a little while.
Oh. As you said earlier, burn's not a huge deal on the Latias, but it is another thing to think about.
Yeah,
and Billy has given him a lot to think about.
That signal beam coming out of the Zapdos, that is an awkward coverage move that's really coming in hand here.
It sure
Wizard
is.
hiding that until now to attack the Psychic Mon. In comes the Aggron, getting the wish off. It will be able to take a Heat Wave, notably. As long as it doesn't crit, and it doesn't, there goes the Dragon Tail.
That Dragon Tail didn't tend to pay off right there with Quagsire getting dragged out.
Yeah,
That
this is
definitely
not the
wasn't what he
matchup.
was hoping for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the matchup you want. Latias coming in. Can't be toxic because it's got the burn. Scald's the only thing that's going to work on it, and it takes him well. But yeah,
Oof.
like you were saying, those burn ticks are adding up with the addition of the Scald ticks. Just the little bits of damage.
Ooh.
The wish goes
Oh.
off, barely saving it.
I don't think Latias has teeth, but if it did, skin and all that.
Yeah, by the scales of its fangs, as the dragons say.
Yeah, that's correct. Another Dragon Pulse doing nothing to that Clefable. I don't even know why he bothers with that move at this point if Clefable's still alive. Moonblast to Gardevoir.
And there's a big heal bell bar the Gardevoir. We knew it had to get out here to do it. A Thunder Wave coming out.
Of course,
Synchronizing it back on.
Oh, he already made that mistake.
But the big thing is the Gardevoir staying in.
Oh, his heal
Oh,
bell.
and there's the heal bell from its Pikachu, but that gives Crobat the opportunity to get into the game. Here comes Barney. Crobat going for the taunt. Nice. We will not see any recover spam here. Definitely outspeeding the Quagsire. Random Wizard forced to swap again in order to save his Quagsire. The Brave Bird going into
Shipping that
another bird. We got
Zapdos
bird
more.
on bird violence here.
It's mayhem.
Absolute mayhem.
You could say this is for the birds.
I mean, game 3, both players still at 6 mon, but both
Another taunt.
beat the hell. Crobat getting the taunts out, really coming in big here. Getting the U-turn, just keep on pivoting. And here comes the Raichu to bait the electric, soaking up the electric with the lightning rod, keeping its balloon intact.
Wonder what Raichu's going to try to do this time against Zapdos.
Oh, and the Quagsire coming in. He's going to nasty plot. He says, I'm not going to go for the electric move. I'm just going to nasty plot and getting the grass knot off to kill those ground Pokemon. To clear up the field for the electric onslaught.
That Quagsire, getting that out of the way is huge for Brad, the chatty daddy.
Yeah, he's going to be able to freely click his electric moves on the Raichu now. Random Wizard bringing his speedy Machamp out here. But Raichu's so quick getting the Volt Switch out. Crobat, we know he takes the Dynamic Punch well.
Ooh, that Crobat.
Oh, and there's
confused
the confusion.
There. I wonder if he goes for the U-turn again.
You gotta go for something.
Gotta do something
You don't want
here.
anything else switching into a Dynamic Punch. You know you can take a couple. You know Hulk is stuck into it. Ooh, you're hurting yourself from the confusion. Just those little chips. You can see Random Wizard saying he's already dead. The rocks are stuck on the field. The Brave Bird comes out and kills it.
There it goes. Ooh, that Zapdos taking it.
Yeah, notably Brad not trusting the U-turn to kill there. Keeping the confused Crobat in. Allowing the Zapdos to get the roost off. This game 3 is really going the distance here.
Sure is.
Brad in a commanding seat here, but Random Wizard still with a couple tricks up his sleeve. He's really got to get something out of that Mew here to close this out.
Ooh, that Signal Beam into that Latias again.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
The Zapdos has fantastic coverage here.
Sure does.
Oh, and the Heat Wave for the miss on the prediction for the Aggron immediately. But we've seen that Brad likes to take that extra turn to get the wish out to try and keep his sweepers healed up well. And Crobat, just through that typing, absorbing attacks left and right. Not normally looked at as a bulky mon, but being a very powerful pivot here in Brad's hands. There goes the taunt. We're not playing any Roost games.
Ooh, burn
And
proc.
the burn proc happens. That is good. Otherwise, I think you just need to be clicking your electric attacks into the Crobat.
Yep.
But here comes the pivot off the U-turn. Crobat still has that speed.
We haven't seen Entei
There's
yet
the
this
Thunderbolt.
game.
That's what
I
I
wonder
want to
what
see
Entei's
more
gonna
of
do
out of
here.
this Pidgeot. Oh, a big
Ooh.
crit and a burn. That is going to put
Huge
the
hit.
taunted
Huge
Zapdos
hit.
on a massive clock, but the taunt ends right here and now. If he wants to get more use out of the Zapdos, but the extreme
It's
speed
dead
from
either
the
way.
Entei.
It's
How
dead
have I
either
been
way with those
forgetting
stealth
about
rocks on
the
the ground.
extreme speed?
The stealth rocks on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. He has to go for the roost there or go for the damage there, but the extreme speed of the Entei just being so valuable in this matchup. Another kill with it. And here comes Mew. Mew's really Random Wizard's last chance here. The Charizard will die to the Stealth Rocks. Clefable can clean it up for the Mew, but the Mew with the Surf, we got to see some good moves out of this Mew. It needs to clean up a large portion of Brad's team here. Into the Latias. I'd be very surprised if Mew doesn't have something to kill the Latias with here. But we do know that the Latias is faster.
Sure is.
Brad able to lose Mon here to try and get some chip in to try and close out the game.
Oof.
Goes for the swap and just more Surf from the Mew.
Crobat is beat up.
Yeah, but again, Crobat beat up, burnt up, going for the roost.
Oof, that's true. Crobat's old reliable for Brad.
There's no reason to try and stall it out here. You just got to go for the chip. I'd be trying to get that U-turn in, even through the burn, just get some damage on the Mew. Mew just able to freely click Surf and just push damage through. You got to get your hit on it. You're not breaking yourself out of this loop, and you lose the loop if a crit occurs. Brad, knowing the importance of killing this Mew, has taken his time with it. Random Wizard, done with the dance, brings out its Pikachu, says, I can protect Mew with the Clefable being on the field. An interesting choice here, though, bringing the Fairy into the Poisonmon. Realizing his mistake, bringing the Mew back in. There's the taunt. Not going to matter on the Mew. We've been seeing this thing trying to push the game forward with damage back to the roost. And Mew switching to the Ice Beam. This thing has to be choiced. We got to remember that he has the free switch in moves. If he throws out the Charizard, it will free up the Mew to change its attacks. Aggron not taking that well. The taunt ends, but it doesn't matter. Mew's going to be able to kill the Aggron here. Brad's got to swap, but what wants to swap into an Ice Beam?
He doesn't swap out.
No, he can't. He needs the clean switch, and he's got to try and chip this Mew down. In comes the Paralyzed Gardevoir. That's not going to be a great move for it. The Ice Beam getting good damage in. The Heal Bell coming out, curing the burn and the paralysis. Another Ice Beam.
That's what I mean with those status moves. They take a lot, you know? They take a lot of valuable time.
And Raichu coming in here. Mew making great progress, tearing through Brad's team. There goes the
Ice Beam going off.
He's pushing the damage now. That's what you got to do. You got to push the damage. You got to kill this Mew.
This game might be turning right here. This is incredible.
These two Pokemon trainers proven to be Pokemon masters.
Who won game 1?
Oh, we're 1-1. This is game 3. The
Shadow Ball swap into the
Mew.
Oh, he had to swap there.
I thought that Latias might have that Shadow Ball.
You've got the Ice Beam on the Latias.
Hungry for the Latias.
Not gonna take it.
But he's still got Clefable at 100%. We know it can counter the Latias. The Crobat with the poison being able to threaten it.
That Clefable is one thick bitch, I'll tell you.
And again,
What a
that
game.
Charizard is going to die to the rocks on entry. The Thunder Wave's coming out. It's time to start the Clefable game. I'm going to paralyze you. I'm going to kill you.
Oof.
It might take a while. Boom, there's the paralysis. This is what Random Wizard
Oof.
needs. If he can clear out the Crobat, then its Pikachu will have a rather clear route. Oh, and going for the heals. Come on, hit the poison move, but maybe he doesn't even have it. Going with
Ooh.
the Brave Bird, the stab attack, still hitting
Doesn't
his
seem
Pikachu
like
hard.
he has it. Doesn't
No,
seem
it
like
does
he has
not.
the poison.
Yeah, it does not seem like we have a poison
Oh.
jab, but there's another paralysis.
Oof, that Clefable. She's just gonna give it to you.
And just burning through all of the roosts here. Neither player wanting to give up. Again, the importance of this match is for the chance at number 1 seeding, depending on how our second game goes.
Critical hit on the Moonblast.
And another paralysis. The paralysis are adding up. The action economy is massive.
Another crit.
But there goes the roost. We're going to continue the stall.
Oh my god.
Neither player wanting to give up. Crobat getting the taunt off. Let's see if it can use this taunt as an opening, stopping its Pikachu from healing up. But no, he's using the opportunity to heal more and continue the stall. This is just eating into his taunt turns. There's another paralysis. But
this Clefable can go for days.
Is he trying to stall out the Moonblast? I mean, it's quite a deal here. Like, if its Pikachu's only attacking move is that Moonblast. And there's another crit, but the roost goes off. And another paralysis.
Brad's in hot water here if that paralysis
Leftovers doing some
goes
work.
off the wrong time.
Yeah, it's actually the black sludge on the poison Pokemon.
Oh, black sludge. Okay.
Black sludge. Oof, there's that paralysis. You don't need that.
Let's just take a peek here at how we're looking. You can see we got 5 roosts left. And only 7 Moonblasts left.
Oof.
Going down to 6 with that last attack. The roost dropping as well. But the big thing is, the Crobat doesn't necessarily have to kill its Pikachu. It just has to remove those Moonblasts and allow the rest of the team to take it. Random Wizard, maybe realizing this, going for some of his other moves. And there's the taunt to bring him back into the Moonblast.
Oh, man.
He could break the taunt by swapping into the Charizard, but what value are you getting out of that unless you're burning some kind of heal off the Crobat or something? Yeah, he's going for it now. Oh, Crobat's low, 24%. It could be within a roll, definitely within a crit. And there it is.
There goes a Crobat. Oh my
the
goodness.
Moonblast hitting for 22 and 21% the turns before. Brad maybe thinking he can survive it, but now he's going to bring out the Gardevoir, which is going to be potentially faster. Getting the Moonblast. There goes its Pikachu. And now out comes Charizard. Oh, and Charizard had more health than I thought. It's gonna come down to this.
Oh, there it goes.
Wow.
It was faster.
And that's the faster Gardevoir.
What a matchup. What a showing.
Wow.
Let's fucking go!
Oh my god, that was so crazy.
What a game 3.